Let us see the hardware specifications to install the Hyper-V. So we need the processor 1.4 gigahertz or higher, and the processor should be 64-bit architecture with virtualization enabled. And the RAM should be minimum 4 GB, and the hard disk, it can be like SATA or SSD with sufficient storage. You should know how much storage you are going to use, so you should have that much storage. Then we have VHD and VHDX capacities. Like, let us say the hard disk you have selected VHD. VHD supports up to 2 TB virtual storage. VHDX supports up to 64 TB of virtual storage. Okay, VHD stands for virtual hard disk. VHDS stands for virtual hard disk extended. Okay, so in hard disk you have two options, VHD and VHDX. So VHD supports up to 2 TB and VHDX supports up to 64 TB. Again, it is completely based on your requirement. You will see the requirement and you will select the hard disk. If you select VHDX, so you don't need to care, okay, what will happen after 2 TB. So you will get 64, maximum 64 TB. Now what we will do, we will install the Hyper-V on our Windows Server operating system. Then after installing the Hyper-V, we need to create two VMs. Then what we will do, we will install the operating system on one virtual machine. After that, okay, we will do the networking part that we will discuss later. Okay, so to install Hyper-V, ensure you have Windows Server 2012 or later. So we are going to install the operating system on Windows Server 2022. So you can install it on a domain controller, member server or workgroup. It will work, but it is not recommended to install the Hyper-V on domain controller. Okay, so to get the better performance and security, it is not recommended to install the Hyper-V on domain controller. So in our lab, we will install the Hyper-V on DC only. Okay, because we have limited servers, but in real networks, you will take the member server or work group, then you will install the Hyper-V. Okay, so in our lab, to install the Hyper-V, we need to do some settings. Okay, so the lab settings are like, we need to allocate minimum 4 GB of RAM. For that, we need to shut down the router. To increase the RAM, we need to shut down the server, and we should ensure that virtualize Intel VT or EPT is enabled. I will show you how to enable it. And we should set the network adapter to host only module. And what we will do, we will provide the Windows Server 2022 ISO image in the disk. I will show you why to provide the ISO image path, okay, when we do the lab. So make sure the ISO file is accessible. So let us do these settings first, then we'll install the Hyper-V.